Few people have asked me, what did I bought in Iceland? And I told them that I didn't bought anything. Why need to buy something every time you travel? But that was a lie because I did bought something, not specifically in Iceland, but I think it was in Finland airport. And it was this bad boy, this small Lego set. I think this is the smaller Lego set that I have had in my adult life. Yeah, I think when I was a kid, I did had a smaller set. It's understandable because they were expensive. So actually, let me tell you something. If you think, and if someone have told you that Legos are for kids and they're toys, okay, they're toys. But if someone tells you that they're for kids, they don't know what they're talking about. Legos are for adults like you and like me, and adults with money because they're not cheap. So it's a mix of maybe adults with somehow bad decision making, maybe not. Actually, if you think about it, let's say if you're a girl, a woman who is looking for a boyfriend or a husband, and one of his hobbies is to have Legos and put Legos together, maybe it's a catch. It's a good catch. And you know why? Because that guy would not be outside spending their money and looking to do what to do nonsense outside. They will be at home putting together a lot of Legos, and they'll have very nice shelves with Legos and lights and all kind of stuff. And they will spend their time putting these small bits together, like the one that I have there, and then some others on the background. Funny thing, these Legos, some of these Legos, they say here 18 plus. And let me tell you, it's not 18 plus years old because they're hard. It's 18 years old plus because they want to be sure they have a job and that you can pay for them and have the patience to do it. But anyway, this is pretty cool. I'm going to open and start putting it together. This is the time machine, the DeLorean from Back to the Future. It's an awesome movie from, let me tell you some story about this movie. This is one of my favorite movies, one of the best movies ever made, I think. It's kind of a comedy, fantasy kind of thing from, I think it was made in 1985. And the plot is about this guy, Marty. He had a friend that is called Doc Brown that he's making a time machine that is with the DeLorean. And funny thing is powered by plutonium. So they get themselves into trouble because he stole the plutonium from some terrorist or something. So that's the fun part. And then when he was trying to escape, he basically flew or time travel to 1955, I think. And then he met his mom and his wife and his mother and stuff, and he got himself into a lot of funny stuff. That's for the first movie. And then if people ask what is the name Back to the Future, and it's a catchy name. It's a catchy name. Like, you know why it was called Back to the Future? Is because he went to the past, but he needs to go back to the future that is actually his present. So I would say maybe it's a catchy name because he wants to go back to the future. He's not actually going to the future. He's just going back to his own time. But when he went to 1955, basically it means that he going to his present means back is going to the future. And he have to go back to the future, it was cool. So that was for the first movie. The second movie that it was released some, I don't know, 4 or 5 years later. I can't remember. I was born in 1981. So I don't think I saw them when they were released. I saw them years later. I think the third movie I did watch it on the movie theaters, like on release, but the first one I didn't. The second one, even if it's called Back to the Future, I think he went to 2015. Yeah, it was funny because it was 2015. It's the past now for us, but back in the movie, it was the future. It was like a really the future. From 1980. I think the movie was 1989. He went to 2015. So 25 years on the future, he went there, and I think he met his kids or something. It was funny. The famous Nikes that they self-tie themselves, like automatic shoes. His hoverboard or like a flying skateboard, you want to call, pretty cool. And I think at the end of the movie is when they got this one, the flying version of the flying machine, and he was not using plutonium anymore. It was he had like a fusion reactor, but I think he was working with garbage or something, some organic material. And then the third movie that he came like a extra 4 years later, maybe 1980, 1994, 1993, I don't know. I think he went back to the past again, to the 1800s. McFly was already a name and people knew it. So he put his name, what name he used? He used from this director, his name is Clint Eastwood. So he called himself Eastwood. So people will say, "Hey, Mr. Eastwood," and people say, "Well, that's a terrible name for a cowboy." And if they knew, the Clint Eastwood movies were one of the best. So anyway, yeah, that's the thing about this Back to the Future movie. So when I was in the airport and I saw this Lego, it's pretty small. I can just carry with me in my hands, and it was like $40. Then I have to buy it. So then, in the meantime that I open it, we can just start just talking about things, nonsense things. How do I open this? Oh, there you go. There you go. So we open this, bag number 5. Now they don't come with plastic bags. They want to be environmentally friendly. So we have 1, number 4, number 2, number 3. Oh, we have, these are what are these? We will see later what are these for. Okay, some stickers. You know, that's the thing that sometimes make people a little bit upset with the Lego sets. Some of the Lego sets are so expensive, and instead of printing the parts in themselves with the actual things, like if you have some some sort of art, they make you put the stickers. And actually, I can see why people complain. I mean, I don't make too much noise. It's kind of part of the fun. But I mean, with the price that you pay. But I have a BMW motorcycle back there. It's a GS motorcycle, and it has stickers. And because of the weather here, I guess maybe the humidity, so the sticker kind of like start having like some bubbles. So that doesn't look very nice. But this is okay. I mean, I don't mind the stickers. Okay, this is, I guess, for showing, and we have the instructions. All right, yeah, this is, oh, this is cool, yeah. You needed this because on the first movie when he went back to the past, actually he used all the fuel, all the plutonium, so he need to make enough power in order to generate I don't know how many watts of energy in order to the machine to reach certain speed and whatnot in order to go back to the future. So they found that there was, he went, and the only person that he knew who Marty McFly was, he was Doc Brown, that he went on knock on him, and it was exactly when he has the idea of the flux thing that makes time travel possible. So he used something like this that he put on top of the car because there's going to be a storm and there's going to be a lightning, and they wanted going to use the power produced by the lightning so they can travel back in time. So that's pretty cool. So let's see. Cool, cool, cool. To 2026. Oh, it has some story. Not nice. Oh, so nice. Looks so nice. Very cool. So I think I'm going to this one. Actually, I do have another Lego there. That's why I said Legos are for adults, but this one is a different one. It's way bigger than this. Is the one of the sets from Lord of the Rings. It's called Minas Tirith. If you know what I'm talking about, it's pretty huge. I still have it in a box. I'm not going to show it. I don't know where to put it yet. That's why it's still in a box. With other ones, I also have the Black Pearl. Not putting that together yet. I also have Iron Man set. This is the Mark III armor suit, whatever you want to call. I haven't put it together either, but it's there. So we have 5 bags. Let's put them out of the way. Open bag number 1. See, a lot of people don't do a lot of manual stuff. You know what I mean? And that's something that I was talking yesterday with my friend Darren. We were coming back from the gym, and basically we just we have to take the train. We moved to a new gym, I mean, the location is the same gym, moved to a different location, but it's a little bit further. So we were taking the training. We were just talking that if all the things that they say about AI is true, then you need to learn how to do things with your hands. So what I was saying to him is like, good thing that I know how to fix cars. I used to be a mechanic when I was younger, so I can do a lot of housework. He said that he loved to do carpentry and whatnot. So it's pretty cool. So I would say that I don't think that AI it has such a apocalyptic future. I'm sure it's going to be very disruptive, just like other things have been very disruptive on the past. But I don't think it's going to be like, everybody will be lose their jobs and shit. But if things change like very dramatically, maybe in 50 years from now, maybe you start meeting a lot of carpenters, mechanics, that they're millionaires. Because who will be able to use their hands? No one do things with their hands anymore. We're in a place like this in Singapore. People don't know how to use their hands. Hey, where is his hair? I don't find his hair. Where is Marty's hair? Anyway, so this is Marty McFly. And they said that they thought there is a life jacket because when he went to 1985, hey, why you wear a life jacket? It's a puffy vest for winter. Where is his hair? Why he has no hair? No. Oh, maybe it's in one of these ones. Let's open right away. I don't want to be thinking that if I lost a piece. Oh, I found the hair. Yeah. So yeah, I was talking to Darren that I can do things with my hands. So for example, here at home, I fix my stuff. I don't have a lot of tools like back in Costa Rica because I don't have enough space and I don't work as a mechanic anymore. But I think I should have a lot of tools again so I can start fixing stuff. Like I went to help the guys to put the things together at the gym, and then you can see how people don't even know how to use tools. They don't even know how to actually use a specific tools like a wrench, like a socket. Like they don't know what are the actual purpose of some tools, and then basically they use the wrong tools to do the whatever they're doing, and then they fucked up stuff. And that's when we say that there's nothing more dangerous than ignorant with initiative, because they're very dangerous. Let's say someone who doesn't know what they're doing, but he has a clever idea. But the clever idea might be clever for the ignorant, that he might be stupid, and then at the end he can harm himself or people around. Oh, he has a nice wrench. We're talking about wrenches, and then he has a wrench. Yay! Looks so nice. So we have Doc Brown, and we have Marty McFly. Let's see if Marty McFly has something else other than the hair. Hey, we have Marty McFly and Doc Brown. Doc Brown with his hazmat suit for managing plutonium and nuclear waste or whatever. Pretty cool. So let's put the jabronis here. Very nice. Bing. So we have that, and then we have first piece. We have to put this piece with this piece. And let's keep talking about things that people don't do anymore, like making calls. People don't make calls anymore. People don't want to talk to each other. I can see here in my building. I have talked a couple of times with my neighbors in front, but people don't engage in conversations anymore. I see why it's happening. A lot of the things that you can buy, you can do in self-service. For example, you go to McDonald's, you can buy your own meal without interacting with anyone. You can, one option, at least here in Singapore, you can sit on the table, you can scan a code, and it sends you to the app, you order your food, and they bring you to the table. So the only thing that you have to say is thank you, because someone will bring it to you, but you don't have to say, hello, miss. I mean, of course, you don't have to introduce yourself or anything, but by if you're polite, you always say hello. Sometimes, how are you, even if you're not expecting the answer. And and then you order the food, and then they ask you what else you want, and then at the end you say thank you very much, and then they tell you have a nice day. You say the same, and then you go and sit, and then you wait for your food, or you take the food from the guy. You say thank you. You order. Can I have some more napkins and things like that? But now people don't do that, to the extent that even my girls here at home, when the service come, they don't want to talk, and when people say hi, they're just like shy. And I remember when I was a kid, also I was shy. I have been always a shy person, but one of the things that they teach me since I was young is like if you go to a place, you always say hi and you say bye when you leave, and you say thank you and you say please for everything. And some of the things have been lost in all these technology ways of doing things, that because we don't have a lot of interaction, then things change. But I don't think the future will be so bad as they say. Like, I don't think Skynet will take over our lives and then everything will be scary and whatnot. It would be kind of fun, sure, because if you see, from one point of view, don't you think it's kind of boring? Your life, like, you have a job. Like, what do you do? Like, you work for a bank, you go to an office, you write some stuff, but there's not like actual like extraordinary things happening to you. Like in these movies, they fly, they're getting into a, I mean, they say that they don't fly first, they go into a machine that travel through time, and then he go to the past, and he go through all these adventures that basically he made his old parents before they even know each other, and then he go to the future, and then he saw things, how things have changed to good or for worse. Or when you watch other movies like Tenet or something, that there's a mission, and then basically your life, the things that you know and the things that you do is your life. It's not that you're an engineer and you just work for a salary, you wake up every day, and basically the life is kind of boring. I guess that's why I buy Legos. Yeah. Okay, in the meantime that I keep doing this, if I can do two things or three, four things at the same time, let me give you a life update. So if you guys know, and if you care, Sharon and I, we are going to get married, but we're not going to do like a big wedding stuff. We're just going to do it official. Let's say, if that's a word, we're going to make it official. So in Singapore, they call ROM. I don't remember what ROM stands for. So we're going to do the ROM here at home on the 8th of August. We invite some friends for later. So after the ROM, that I think is at 10 a.m., it would take maybe about 30 minutes or so. Maybe you have to sign a paper. Maybe it's a lawyer who comes, and I'm sure he will give some small talk about marriage or not. And then at 12, we plan something like small brunch, steak buffet in a very nice place. Here in Singapore, it has view to the city. And it's 2 hours of very good quality steak, different cuts of beef. Also, you can have, I think we can have chicken and pork. And also, of course, we can drink beer or wine and whatnot. And it's going to be for 2 hours. And my mom is coming from Costa Rica. My sisters or brothers and sisters, they cannot come. I actually, to be honest, I didn't officially invite all of them because I know that it's hard to come here. But to my sister who live with my mom, I did ask them to come, but they didn't have enough time, and things, life. It's a little bit sad. I wanted them to come here, but I know it's not that easy. Also, they mentioned that it was kind of a last minute, but it was not. I tell them with a few months in advance, like almost 3 months in advance. And funny that I said that it was the last minute, because I was talking to a friend, and when I told my friend, I think I updated him that I said like, hey, yes, so this day is going to be my wedding brunch. So if you want to come. And he said like, oh, wow, man, wow, so fast. And I said, well, no time to waste. And, and then why you have to wait so much? And that was something that Sharon and I, we were talking about, that a lot of couples, when they plan marriages, they do like in the long run. And it kind of lose the, I don't know, the romanticism of being, I'm not a religious person, Not that I believe on the sanctity of marriage in the eye of God. So I'm not a religious person. So I'm doing it basically for to be. Uh, it's like an enterprise, and in Singapore, the enterprise give you a lot of perks, and not just that. I mean, it also give you a sense of belonging, I guess. And me being here in Singapore as a foreigner with Cheryl that is a local, if we make things official, things become a little bit easier for both of us. So we decided to do it. So I was telling Cheryl that why people when they say yeah, they make a party, they make an engagement party, and then you ask them, "Hey, so where is the marriage? Where is the wedding?" And they say in 2 years. And I'm like, what the fuck in 2 years? I mean, I guess from one point of view, I can understand when they want to book like a very famous hotel or sometimes something that is there's let's say one of the famous hotel, it has this room for weddings, and I guess a year has 50 plus weeks, and not all of them are available because maybe the hotel have some like internal stuff. So basically, they say up to let's say about 40 weeks to book because most of people want to get married on the weekend, uh, and then I guess they do a week every week, and then that's why maybe it's hard to find the exact week. And a lot of people want to get married on the same time of the year. So I would say if you do that, then sure, maybe you need a little bit more planning. But if you just like, you know where you're going to be and you don't need to do a lot of things, you just plan the stuff, book your hotel, get the food. Don't make something very, very complicated. It's supposed to be something fun for everyone. If you make it more complicated, and at the end of of the time, and I the and at the end, um, people put so much effort and they divorce. It's like what a waste, what a waste. And more in these days, that people don't commit to stuff, to what you would say, like, oh, Fernando, what I have to say, you're 40 something, until now you're getting married. People used to say, even a couple of girls that I dated, they said that they thought that I have a commitment issues. And sometimes in my head, it's like, I mean, just because I'm not marrying you specifically doesn't mean that I have commitment issues. It's just like life is like that. Mm. But yeah, how much time we have been talking? We have been talking for a while now, and actually, I don't want to keep you guys listen to all my nonsense for too long. I want to make this podcast long and more fun. If I have someone else, if it's just like me having a monologue making this Lego, I don't want to keep you guys forever. But I wanted to close for something that is happening right now, that is the World Cup. Like a lot of us are watching the World Cup. I am not like a super football fan, if you ask me, but I do love sports, like I've mentioned before. When I used to live in US, I used to follow a lot of the US sports. Also, I mentioned that. But for some reason this year, it was fun to watch the World Cup. I got the package so I can watch all the games. The problem is the time zone didn't help too much. But one of the fun things uh, is that I was, since I have played video games, so many of the games that I was watching, I was also playing the video games first. Of course, I have to choose a team and use one team, and the other one is the computer, and see how it goes. Well, it didn't went too well because many of my predictions on the game didn't happen. For example, Germany lost at the end; they didn't reach the final, um, not even the semifinals. Then who else? France got eliminated on the semifinals. Who else? Some other teams like in my video game I play, Belgium arrived to the final. Belgium against France. That was my prediction. And at the end, this Monday, the game is going to be Spain against Argentina. That makes me a little bit sad because for maybe the second time in my life, I am I am supporting France. Most of the times I don't support France because many reasons. French are a little bit annoying and whatnot. I never saw like the the need of support France, even if I went to a French school. Maybe that's why I did support French team when I was in France in one of my trips to France. But then after that, I never supported France until now because I thought that the team is awesome. The players, Mbappe and Dembele and Tchouaméni, Upamecano, and all these guys that people say, well, they're actually Africans, not French. But that's people start thinking about stupid stuff. They're French. They were born there. They act like French. They have French, French culture. They have been there, so they become French. But they got eliminated. Same as England. I was thinking England's such a good team, man. I love Kane and Bellingham and whatever, and they lost against they lost a bit. Who? Argentina. Argentina beat England. So now the final is Spain against Argentina. So I feel a little bit lost because I don't. I mean, to be honest, I don't support any of them. This year, I don't support Spain. I remember, I think 2 or 3 World Cups before I did was supporting Spain, but I don't remember last time I supported Spain. So this year it's Argentina that I think have never supported Argentina, even if I think they won last World Cup. But I was not rooting for Argentina or France. I think I was 4 years ago. That was Qatar. I don't remember who I was like supporting. I was supporting a couple of countries. I don't remember. But anyway, at the end, Argentina won, and this year Spain against Argentina. So who can I support? I don't know. Just before I opened the Lego, I did play the final. I put the final in my video game in FC26, and I used Spain. So I chose Spain randomly, and it was hard to score. I can tell you that. So Argentina has a good team. And I think even Argentina's team is even stronger than Spain. But I won using Argentina. So I guess my prediction would be Argentina winning the World Cup. But I can see that Spain winning the World Cup. But who knows? Maybe Argentina. Everyone has good chances. In this case, it's like like when you hear the people talking about the weather that says like chances for rain, 50% chance of rain, and they say that every day. Of course, it might rain, it might not rain. So in this case, as long as they don't go to penalties, then I would say that maybe Argentina has more chances to win. But if Spain win, I'm also good. And I invited my friends to watch the game here at home. So Monday, 3 a.m. will be few guys here. Maybe Cheryl. I don't know if some other friends are coming. Cynthia might be coming. A couple of my French friends who are coming. That I mean, they're supporting whatever Argentina or Spain. And then we'll have a good time. And to close this episode, I just want to say thanks to everyone who is supporting my channel. The 3 or 4 people that are listening, whatever is in YouTube or in Spotify or in Apple Podcasts. Trust me that I'm committed to do this once a week. I know last week I think I missed because I had like some logistic issues because I was coming from Iceland and then coming back to work and whatnot. So I couldn't record it. But I promise I will keep doing once a week. Maybe I will do more. Maybe I make this, like instead of the diary of a CEO, maybe the diary of whatever. I have to come with 3 letters that mean something funny. And I change the name of my podcast. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. And next time you will see this bad boy finish. Say bye to Doc Brown and Marty. Bye.